Well, this weekend, the South Carolina women's basketball team returns to action against Auburn, but before the game, it will be a special celebration. The great A'ja Wilson is set to have her jersey retired at Colonial Life Arena on Sunday. Already with a statue out front, A'ja will now have her jersey up in the rafter.
A'ja Wilson's jersey retirement tickets are selling for just $16, cheaper than a fancy burger, yet they still haven't sold out. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark's fans are battling over tickets priced at over $1,000 for her retirement. How did Wilson, a WNBA legend with a statue outside the arena, end up struggling to fill seats for her own ceremony? This surprising contrast has sparked debate across the basketball world. Stay tuned as we uncover the real reason behind Wilson's unexpected fall from the spotlight.
The Caitlin Clark crash-outs continue. And it's all about the Caitlin Clark now playing for Iowa. Well, she played for Iowa and her jersey being retired on the same day as A'ja Wilson's. You see how it doesn't go the opposite way? Like, nobody really cares. Like, A'ja Wilson has her retirement jersey on the 2nd of February, 2.2. Yeah, she wears 22. Obviously, it's the right thing to do. And then Caitlin Clark, unfortunately, wears the same number to the A'ja fans. So it's the right thing to do. People being like, oh, A'ja had decided hers first. Yeah, they announced A'ja Wilson's first. Clark's jersey's been in the bleachers since preseason.
A'ja Wilson's jersey retirement feels like a ghost town, with South Carolina even giving away free tickets to fill seats. It's shocking. This is the same A'ja Wilson, one of the most decorated players in WNBA history. Yet, despite her incredible legacy, her jersey still hasn't officially been retired. What's really going on here?
Leah and Camilla, but the greatest of them all is A'ja Wilson, who will have her jersey retired on Sunday. Long overdue. I know Dawn was saying there's a whole process, but if it was up to her, she probably would have had that jersey retired right after she graduated. Already has a statue.
How did we get here? Let's take a trip back to when A'ja Wilson was the undisputed queen of South Carolina basketball. Nearly 7 years ago, in 2017, she led the Gamecocks to their first ever national title, a moment that put South Carolina on the map in a big way.
And I think A'ja set a standard at South Carolina of giving 110% of who you are, not just 110% of who you are as a player. And I think that's a huge part of her legacy because she's the GOAT. She's phenomenal. She's the greatest basketball player ever play at South Carolina.
You'd think A'ja Wilson's jersey would have been retired immediately, right? Yet 8 years later, it's still in limbo. Since Wilson graduated in 2018, LeBron James has switched teams twice, new college basketball stars have emerged, and Wilson herself has become a 3-time WNBA MVP. Despite her incredible achievements, South Carolina seems to have only just remembered to honor her. The delay? A policy requiring a 5-year wait after a player's final college season before jersey retirement. However, even with that rule, they're still 2 years late. It's as if they forgot to send out the invitations and suddenly realized, oh no, we should probably do something for A'ja. The question remains, why did it take so long?
Already with a statue out front, A'ja will now have her jersey up in the rafters, joining some of the most legendary Gamecock basketball players of all time.
Here's where it gets really interesting. A'ja Wilson already has a statue outside Colonial Life Arena, unveiled in January 2021. Yet, despite honoring her with a statue, they delayed retiring her jersey for years. It's like building a shrine but forgetting to hang the person's picture. The timing is bizarre. Just as Caitlin Clark dominates headlines in women's basketball, South Carolina suddenly decides to honor Wilson. It's hard not to see this as a last-minute attempt to regain attention. But here's the real issue. They're so late that instead of a celebration, it feels like an afterthought.
People being like, oh, A'ja had decided hers first. Yeah, they announced A'ja Wilson's first. Clark's jersey's been in the bleachers since preseason. Clark's jersey has been in the bleachers since before they announced A'ja's. There is a reason why there is a nationally televised game, Iowa versus USC, on the 2nd of February. This has been in the works since the day she said, since last February.
Fans are left puzzled, and who can blame them? It's as if South Carolina forgot to invite the guest of honor to her own celebration. The delay is baffling. This is Aja Wilson, the player who put South Carolina women's basketball on the map, became a WNBA superstar, and won Olympic gold. Yet, instead of a grand tribute, her alma mater has fumbled what should have been an easy, well-deserved celebration.
Y'all, I'm going to get jumped. I can hear the pitchforks and the flames outside of my door as we speak. So what happened was Iowa announced that they are going to be retiring Caitlin Clark's jersey on February 5th, which is in
February 5th. Like, the whole reason it's iconic is it was February the 2nd, 2.2. And date and name wrong, apparently.
in like a couple months. For my non-sports fans, this is like a huge ceremony where they put her jersey up in the rafters, and that means no one can ever wear number 22 at Iowa ever again.
Let's dive into this wild ticket saga shaking the basketball world. The contrast between Aja Wilson and Caitlin Clark's jersey retirements is striking. It's like comparing a fancy burger to a five-star meal, and the prices show it.
Because I think every single one of us knows that that is what's going to happen on the 2nd of February, is that Caitlin Clark fans are going to be celebrating Caitlin Clark. Aja Wilson fans are going to be screaming, look at Aja, look at Aja, look at Aja. And I think Aja Wilson will do a look at me. I will stand by that. Like, that would be, I genuinely think she is going to be, she's going to say something about this. I would be shocked if she doesn't.
Imagine this. Aja Wilson, a three-time WNBA MVP and Olympic gold medalist, is having her jersey retired. You'd expect fans to be lining up for tickets, right? Well, the reality is shocking. Tickets for Wilson's ceremony start at just $16, cheaper than a movie ticket and popcorn, yet they're still not sold out. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark's jersey retirement is a completely different story. Her ticket prices are about 11 times higher, with fans willing to pay top dollar. In Iowa City, securing a ticket feels like trying to score front-row seats at a sold-out concert. The contrast couldn't be more striking.
And, well, her prices for her game are high. The only problem is Caitlin Clark's are literally about 11 times higher.
Now let's look at Caitlin Clark's jersey retirement. It's like trying to get front-row seats at a sold-out concert. Ticket prices range from $200 to over $1,000, and fans are willing to pay. The demand is so overwhelming that Iowa is struggling to keep up, turning Clark's retirement into a full-blown basketball frenzy.
For Caitlin Clark, the cheapest ticket is $522. Yeah, if that tells you anything. $522.
Why such a massive difference? How did Aja Wilson, a player with a statue outside her arena, struggle to fill seats for her jersey retirement? It's not about talent. Both Wilson and Clark are elite athletes. The issue lies in timing. South Carolina seems to have noticed the buzz around Clark and rushed to celebrate Wilson, but instead of honoring her at the peak of her popularity, they're trying to capture some of Clark's spotlight. As a result, Wilson's jersey retirement feels more like an afterthought than a well-planned celebration.
Two iconic names, one historic date. On February 2nd, 2025, women's basketball will celebrate Aja Wilson and Caitlin Clark in ways that cement their legacies forever. As fans debate whose impact is greater, ticket sales tell a story of their own, with Clark's jersey retirement commanding prices more typical of marquee NBA games. We're well past that, folks.
South Carolina is so desperate to fill seats for Aja Wilson's jersey retirement that they're giving away free tickets. It's shocking, one of the most decorated WNBA players, yet they can't sell out a $16 event. It's not just disappointing, it's embarrassing. Meanwhile, in Iowa City, the demand for Caitlin Clark's ceremony is so overwhelming, they probably wish they had a bigger arena. The contrast is almost comical, with Iowa's ticket office scrambling to keep up with the frenzy.
This appears to be the most expensive it has ever been to go to a WNBA game. Or to a women's basketball game ever.
What's really happening here? Is it simply a matter of timing, or is there more beneath the surface? Some speculate that Wilson's past remarks about Clark are now backfiring. Remember when Wilson frequently threw shade at Clark? Now, the roles have reversed, and it's not looking favorable for Wilson.
A lot of people are pissed that this is the second day or the same day. Now, I say a lot of people, Asia Wilson fans are pissed that it's the same day. From far as I can tell, Caitlin Clark fans don't give a rip about Asia Wilson's jersey retirement. I'm being honest here.
This entire situation highlights how quickly things can change in sports. One moment, you're the biggest star, and the next, you're struggling to draw a crowd to your own celebration. In the sports world, past achievements aren't enough. It's about staying relevant and maintaining a strong connection with fans. Even Wilson seems aware of this shift, admitting she feels like she's being swept under the rug. Looking at the ticket sales, it's hard not to wonder if she's right. Once celebrated as the undisputed queen of women's basketball, Wilson now finds herself overshadowed by Caitlin Clark's meteoric rise. The real story isn't just about these two players, but the stark contrast in how their universities have chosen to honor their legacies.
Hawkeye women's basketball player in history to have her number retired.
When the Hawkeyes secured their second consecutive national runner-up finish in April, Beth Goetz made it clear Caitlin Clark's legacy was already cemented. Just a week after her final game, Iowa announced that her jersey would be retired, months before the official ceremony. The anticipation only grew, carrying momentum into the next season. This set the stage for a marquee matchup on February 2nd, 2025, as Iowa faced USC and Juju Watkins in their first nationally televised weekend game. The Hawkeyes understand the power of media attention and momentum, and they were fully prepared to seize the moment.
Iowa taking on USC and Juju Watkins, nationally televised game, I believe. February 2nd, 2-2, so it's 22. Everything about it line.
South Carolina handled Wilson's jersey retirement differently, making the announcement feel like an afterthought, despite her achievements. Fans questioned the long delay, and when it was finally made official in October 2024, the excitement didn't translate. Nearly 4 months later, tickets still haven't sold out.
One of the sentiments that was expressed was, oh, it's the same day as Asia Wilson's, how could you do it? First of all, I remember them announcing Asia Wilson was getting her jersey retired, but I didn't remember the date or anything. When the Clark news broke, I didn't think about Asia Wilson. And again, as is the case with Caitlin Clark, this only is going to bring more attention to Asia Wilson's jersey retirement.
This situation raises important questions about how colleges honor their top athletes. Iowa is maximizing the Caitlin Clark phenomenon, ensuring she receives the farewell she deserves. The stark contrast between Clark and Wilson's jersey retirements highlights a deeper issue in women's basketball. Success isn't just about performance on the court anymore. It's about fan engagement, managing celebrity, and building a brand that extends beyond the game.
But that is a supply and demand thing, especially in today's day and age where there's no such thing as a sellout, right? Where you can go to any event you want as long as you're willing to pay for it because of the secondary ticket market. So as you can see, Iowa taking on USC and Juju Watkins, nationally televised game, I believe. February 2nd, 2-2, so it's 22. Everything about it line.
In today's world, where the secondary ticket market dominates, the concept of a true sellout no longer exists. It's all about supply and demand. If you're willing to pay, you can attend any event. Wilson's jersey retirement should have been a defining moment, yet it feels like a missed opportunity. Crazy, right? It's no longer just about stats and ceremonies. The real lesson comes from the stark contrast between Aja Wilson and Caitlin Clark. How these two athletes have been handled shows exactly what it takes to win or lose the hearts of fans, and their approaches couldn't be more different.
We'll get to compare the ratings because I would assume that game against Auburn will be televised somewhere.
Both Wilson and Clark are incredible players, but only one is filling arenas, and it's not the one with a statue outside. Why? Simple. Clark connects with her fans, making them feel like part of her journey. After her final collegiate game, she expressed gratitude and pride in being a Hawkeye, and that authenticity resonated with everyone.